Hey guys, welcome back to HackIson's Linuxplained series. In our previous video, we have discussed about what is Linux, and in this video, we are going to see about how to install Linux. For this demonstration purpose, I'm going to show you about how to install a Debian-based operating system. In my previous video itself, I have told you like Debian-based is very much useful for beginners. When you are a beginner, then this Debian will be very much easy to understand. So that's why I'm starting with Debian based operating system. And throughout this video series will be based on Debian operating system. And at the end, I'll try to give some more videos about other famous distributions also. Okay, so there will be some little bit different. So I'll be giving you those videos also. Okay, so first, throughout this series, I'll complete with Debian operating system. So for that purpose, we need a operating system to practice, right? So for that, we are going to install it. We'll install Debian Linux in our system, but not in our hard disk. Okay, so usually we'll be installing an operating system into our hard disk, and it will be the primary boot for our system. But not in this case, I'm not going to do like that. Instead, I am going to use the Debian based operating system as a guest OS, because you are a beginner, and if you install it as a host OS, then you will be facing lots of issues. So that's why we are going to install it as a guest OS. So if any problem arises, just you can delete that particular file, and you can install it freshly. Okay, so I would suggest you to go with that. And for doing this, you need a software called VirtualBox. Actually, I'm using it in my Linux system. My host OS is Linux, so I'm using this VirtualBox previously. Actually, why I'm choosing VirtualBox is there is another variant which works with the same thing. Actually, it is also like very much useful for making guest OS. The name is VMware. Okay, so it's an alternate for VirtualBox. And the major difference is when you use VMware, you have to pay amount for getting the license, whereas VirtualBox is open source. Obviously, we all like open source, isn't it? So that's why I've chosen VirtualBox. There won't be any product key issues or anything else, so it will be completely helpful for you. If you are a beginner, then this will be very much helpful. Okay, fine guys, let's install it. For your convenient, most of the users will be using Windows, right? So that's why I'm having a Windows system in my Linux, as a guest OS, so I'll be using it. Okay, so this is my Linux system inside my this is my Windows system inside my Linux system. So there might be a little bit confusion, right? So no worries. I'm using Windows inside my Linux. That's the thing I'm telling. Okay, fine guys. Now you have to visit your browser. I'll be giving all the links in the description box. You can get it there. Virtual, not now. The creepy thing will arise every time. This is the link. I'll provide it in the description box. What your job is to just click here. Okay, Windows host, because you are using you're going to install VirtualBox into a Windows system. So I'm getting the Windows variant. Okay, whereas if you are going to download it for Mac OS, then you have to click this one, and followed by other versions, other operating systems. Okay, in our case, we are going to install it in our Windows system. Okay, the download has been completed. Just click it to last run. Yes. Okay, let me close it. You'll be getting the installation wizard. Click next, 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 next. Install. This will take some time, and in between it will ask you for some permissions. You have to allow it in order for a proper installation. Okay. Yes, and it will now copying new files. Generally guys, I would suggest you when you if you have installed, if you would have watched my previous videos, I would suggest you to watch a video completely, right? Because in between I might get any error, so I'll be solving those errors in the video itself. So you also can, while installing if you while installing the software, you also can, there is a high possibility of getting the same error. So it will be very much uncomfortable for you, okay? So that's why I would suggest you to go watch each and every video till the end, okay? So this is how it looks like in Windows, okay? In Windows this is how it looks like, and there is no much difference between these two things. I hope there is no, yes, a little bit difference, like the icon has been changed from right to left, and other than the options are same and everything else is same. So this is how you have to install VirtualBox into your system. Now we have installed VirtualBox into our system and we are completely ready to install Debian operating system. For that, you have to open the browser, and I have given the link in the description box as said before. Just type Debian and open the link. Open the link, you will be say I'll give the direct download link itself. Okay, download and installation image, and we need 64-bit operating system, so that's why you can choose anything else. USB stick, CD or USB stick. So this is the normal version, ISO version, and you can use it either of these things, okay? I'll go with the first one, small CDs and USB sticks, and it's a 64 version, a 64-bit operating system, ISO. You can see here. I'm downloading it, and if you wish, either you can go with the various versions of Linux. I would suggest you to go with this. And if you are watching this video after a month or later from this from the release date, then you have to go to this link and you have to download the latest version of Debian operating system. So for the to avoid those confusions, I'll give this link itself, not the direct download link. So you can come to this page and you can click anything else, any version that you want, and you can download it. And here this is the 32-bit, and it is also here. Okay, the ISO has been downloaded successfully. Now we are ready to work with the VirtualBox. Click on new. Here you can name your Debian. Okay, let me name it as Linuxplained. And you know that this operating system is a Linux operating system, and it is purely Debian based. So previously I have told you there are various versions of distributions are available in Linux, and in this Debian based, this is a Debian distribution. So I'm going to choose this, and you can see Ubuntu is also an Ubuntu, and many more operating system comes under Debian. So if you are choosing those types of Debian based operating system, then you can also choose either of these options. Okay, no problem in that. Just and one more thing I forgot to mention you. And if you are using HP laptops, you won't get 64-bit here, okay? So there will be only 32-bit. To get the 64-bit, you have to enable the virtualization options in your boot menu, okay? So you can see, you can Google it easily, and if you get that error, then you can do that. Otherwise, if you are able to see 64-bit in this list, then you no worries. If you are not able to see 64-bit in this list, then you have to enable the virtualization. So just Google it, how to enable virtualization in HP laptops. So mostly this problem arises in HP laptops, and Dell laptops commonly it is an inbuilt one. This option is auto enabled, so no worries. And if you are also facing an issue, any laptop brand, no worries. If you are facing an issue like that, just go to your boot menu and enable the virtualization and come back to your system, and you can able to see the 64-bit in this list. Okay, just to choose the 64-bit, and if you are using 32-bit, then you can choose the 32-bit thing, and click on next. And here you have to allocate the space, that is the RAM space. In my case, I'm using 8 GB RAM. I'm just allocating 2 GB for this, so no worries. I can allocate almost 3 GB for this particular box, and click next. You have to use it as a virtual hard disk, so you can carry over. Okay, so there are three types of options available: virtual disk image, which you can use it in another virtual box. So if you want to import this, previously I have told you about VMware, right? If you are using VMware, and if you want to import this particular box inside VMware, then you can choose this. Okay, but now in our case, we'll work with VDI itself, because I don't want to move from VirtualBox to VMware. So just VDI, and click on next. Dynamically allocated. Next, Linuxplained. This is my internal space, internal memory space, that means ROM, hard disk space. Okay, so for this box you have to allocate a hard disk space. So that's what here you can see that from the title itself, create a virtual hard disk. So we are creating a virtual hard disk with 128 GB of space. Click create, and that's it. All the configurations are over. Now we have to choose the operating system. For that, just double tap on the name of that particular box, and you will be getting this box. Click on the file manager icon and choose the operating system that you want to install. Debian, open, and click on next. You will be able to see the welcome screen, and there are lots of options, so don't care about anything else. We are going to do a graphical installation. To click on graphical install. So graphical install, and now you have to wait to see the screen. Obviously our language is English, and if you wish to choose any other language, you can choose according to your country, and enter American English. Now it will detect the ROM. You have to wait. Every procedure will complete within almost 15 to 20 minutes. It depends upon your laptop speed and configuration. And one more thing I have forgotten to mention. If you are using any low configuration laptops, then just increase your RAM to at least 8 GB RAM is preferable for such kind of activities, because while running virtual boxes, it will get more memory, it will use more memory. So I would suggest you to go with 8 GB RAM minimum of 8 GB RAM. So you have to give the host name. You can give anything else you want. Just leave the domain name empty, continue. And now it's a network configuration part, and automatically it has done, and it is asking for the password. You have to mention the password. Okay, don't forget it. Just click next. And if you wish to create a new user apart from root, then you can create a new user. This is as like as our Windows. In Windows we'll be creating another user, okay, without administrative permission, right? So as like as the in Linux we'll be calling the administrator as root. Okay, so if you wish, you can create a non-root user where you can use it for some of your friend wants to log into your computer, and you can provide that particular non-administrative user account to him to log into your computer. So there will be restrictions to work with your computer. Okay, so in this case I don't want to do anything back. So username forgotten. Okay, new user full name, and you need to mention a username HackIsOn, and you have to create a password for that too. Actually, the previous one, I've done a mistake, right? So because why? Because I'm having some experience with Kali Linux, and this is the first time I'm installing this Debian directly. But Kali Linux and Parrot OS is based on Debian OS, and there won't be any compulsion for creating a new user. Okay, but here it is showing you to create a new user. No worries. As I said before, once you have learned about one operating system in Linux, then learning other distributions are very easy. You can pretty easily understand the other things. Okay, setting up the password, it will ask you for the time zone. Just click. Okay, now detecting the disk. This is where the friendly part begins. When you install Debian, any Linux operating system into your laptop directly, you have to do the partition things. But here we are using it in Linux because it's a guest OS. There is no need of partitioning, so you can use the entire disk, that is 128 GB. Here you can see that 128 GB, all files in one partition, recommended for new users. Click on that and finish the partitioning. Okay, finish partition, and now you are ready to write the changes into the disk. Yes. Okay, now it's installing the operating system. The thing is, now you have to wait. That's the thing you have to do now. You have to wait until it completes. I think hope it's installing very fastly. Yes, it's moving fast. Anyways, let me pause the video for a minute, and I'll come back. Okay, now the installation has been completed, and it is asking to scan for another CD or DVD. Actually, no. Okay, it's asking for the package manager. Configure the package manager. As usual, I'll go with United States and debian.org. You can choose any of this, but I'll go with the default one. Okay, blank. Now configuring the apt. Okay, its package manager will help you. This is the main part where this package manager is a reason for getting softwares into your Debian system. Okay, so if you wish to install any softwares, any application to your Linux system, then this package manager is responsible for that. Okay, now it's asking actually this Debian general Debian is asking too many questions, I think, because when I didn't face this many questions, these sort of things while installing Kali Linux or Parrot OS. Even in Ubuntu, while installing Ubuntu also, I didn't face such kind of issues. But this is not an issue. This is a general thing. It's asking too many questions. So that's the thing. No problem. Okay, it's asking for the participation of a survey. No, I don't want to participate in any survey. And wait. Here you have to choose the software that you want to install. Okay, so actually these are all the softwares are helpful for GUI. Okay, so you can customize your GUI with these softwares, but I don't need that these things now, so I just left it by default. I'm going with the default options. Just click continue. So because if I choose any of those packages, then it will take much more time, so that's why I'm skipping it. Okay, can see 56 seconds remaining. It's now downloading all the files. You have to your internet, it depends upon your internet speed. Okay, if your internet speed is low, then definitely it will take time. Okay, the installation is going on. The packages have been downloaded and now it's processing the installation. Oops, it's taking too much time than I expected. Yes, no worries. So follow each and every steps that I followed, because if you are trying to install lot more packages in the first step itself, then it will take more time. So after the installation, if you want any package, we can install it. Package means software. In Linux we'll call it as package. Okay, so that's what we mentioned in Linux. In Windows we'll be calling it as software, but when it comes to Linux, we'll call it as package. So there are many types of file formats. I mean, the installation file formats. We'll discuss each and everything in detail. Okay, if I discuss about everything in this single video itself, then you'll be getting confused. So let's wait. Now it's in the final stage. Okay, the configuration is in the final stage. Finally the time came, I think. So it has took around 10 minutes, I think, for this installation. You can see my CPU processor is at its peak. Oops. Okay, the thing has been completed. I'm waiting for the next. Till now everything is going fine. The final stage has came. It's now installing the bootloader grub. Installing the bootloader, the master record. Yes, you have to install it and choose the hard disk. Just choose it and it will set up all the final configuration files into that hard disk and will update the grub. It will give it to you. Okay, it will give you finishing the installation. Yes, we are on the final stage. Okay, the installation has been completed and you have to remove all the medium. So actually we are using it in guest OS, so we don't need to remove anything. Just simply click on continue and wait for the restart. Boom, you'll get your system will be restarted. Don't do anything else, automatically it will go here. You can see the count. Automatically it will enter into the Debian operating system. Just wait for the login screen. Okay, cool. We have got the login screen and this is our username which we have created there. And now the username is, and this is a root user. Okay, so this particular user has the root permission. Now you have to type the password. Boom, we have got into the Linux. We have installed our Debian Linux successfully, and this is how you have to install the Linux system. Okay, I mean Linux operating system into your VirtualBox. And if anything else, if you face any issues in between these total process, you can directly contact me. We'll catch you up in the next video.